Alright, so, and there it goes again. This phone's gonna end up breaking before I get fucking batteries for my camcorder. Anyway, so Angulo and Bradley fought last night, and Angulo really looks, he really looks good, but I think he's supposed to look good. But even though he's supposed to look good, yeah, of course we want to see him fight top competition. We want to see him in there against some better guys. But he's kind of had to have a road to recovery since Central. Because he didn't look good in that fight, and he didn't look good against Julio. But as Max Kellerman said, Julio put up a good fight. So now we get into it, and he took a top-notch guy who's only had one loss, okay? And whether or not he's been knocking over tomato cans for 18 fights is kind of beside the point here. I mean, Angulo just proved that he's in another class than even a man who's, what was the other guy, Joachim, whatever, he was like 17-1. So, I mean, yeah, it's time for Alfredo Angulo to make the step up, but will boxing politics allow him to make his next step up immediately? Probably not. I bet we see Angulo in one more smaller fight before he gets a real big money fight. But here's hoping his next fight's against a top quality guy. Now, moving on. Timothy Bradley showed me last night that he is good but not great. And boxing knowledge, this will be, I fully expect Alexander to make quick work of Katolnik. I don't expect him to have much problems with that at all. So boxing knowledge, this is the argument ender for me with this Timothy Bradley versus Abregu fight. Because, I was on Bradley's side thinking that Bradley might have the edge in the Alexander fight. But after watching last night, he's got a lot of flaws. He's got a lot of heart, but he's got a lot of flaws. And maybe I'll hold final judgment until I see Alexander fight Katolnik, and let's be honest, Alexander's probably going to wipe the floor with Katolnik. So, yeah, I think Alexander wins that battle right now of who do we think's better, who do we think the number 140 guy is, Timothy Bradley or Devon Alexander, and I have to say Devon Alexander. Now, yes, it was at 147. Yes, the guy was bigger than him, but that guy, Abregu, while he has heart and determination, that's about all he has. He's got a punch, heart, and determination. I didn't really see anything in his game plan that should have gave Bradley that many problems. And with as many moments as Abregu had and possibly won 2 rounds, I only gave Abregu 1 round. But for Abregu to be able to give Timothy Bradley those moments where Abregu looks good makes me think less of Timothy Bradley. Now, maybe the size really is the deciding factor, but and I've been hard on Timothy Bradley before. I called him the headbutt monster, headbutt king, all that bullshit. And then he fought Lamont Peterson. And I gained a lot of respect for Timothy Bradley after that Lamont Peterson fight. Regardless, he does have that nice shoulder roll, straight right hand that can floor a motherfucker, and maybe the size is the determining factor. Maybe this guy is too big and just won't hit the canvas, but we've seen him hit the canvas before. So it tells me Bradley doesn't have enough power to do it. And I think Alexander has power. I mean, I'm just not as impressed as I thought I was going to be. And even though I thought Timothy Bradley was going to whitewash this dude or even knock him out, I really did want him to knock him out. I wanted him to have that exclamation point at 147. Now he's calling out Pacquiao. And I know I wouldn't talk about these certain guys. You've heard me bring their names up. I'm only mentioning them as if somebody calls them out or as an opponent in a previous fight. Anything that has a, because there isn't comments. Let's just fucking never mind that shit. If I say it, it's only as a reference, and then I don't really have an opinion on either one of them anymore. Anyway, that out of the way, I just really want Timothy Bradley to look better. Right now, if after Katulnik, they said Alexander and Bradley were going to fight. I would have to favor Alexander heavily. And after last night, I would favor a lot of people heavily. I think if Timothy Bradley can become more comfortable at 147, or if Andre Berto can lose a little bit, and they can kind of do a 143 or even a 140, I would like to see Bradley versus Berto. I think that would be more telling about where each of them are in their careers as far as their skills are concerned, because I'm concerned about both of them at this point. Both show flashes of greatness, and Timothy Bradley does, whether he looks ugly doing it or not. He actually boxed very well. But I just think with all those shots he landed, one of those should have been the fight ender. And it just wasn't. And Berto, I know, has fight ending. You know, he's not a one-punch guy, but if it gets to the 10th or 11th round and you're still throwing with fucking Berto, you're going to feel that shit. He's got more power. That's that stupid fucking Jack Russell dog. It's my brother-in-law who likes to fucking stand it. Hey! I fucking hate ankle biters. I really do. They're jackass dogs. Can't stand them. I like my shepherd. Anyway, I'm going to cut that short, man. I got some more thoughts on it, but, you know, we don't have all the time in the world to put these out in videos. So, Timothy Bradley, he's still definitely in the 140 mix, but I'm kind of more excited about Alexander at this point. I think this is a horrible move for Timothy Bradley to move up to 147, and he really needs to think about dropping back down to 140 and not fucking with the 147 guys, because the top guys at 147 are probably going to give Bradley too much to handle at this point from what I can see. Now, maybe he comes back in his next fight against another 147, good 147-pounder, and then owns him, or knocks him out. But, you know, it was a whitewash. It was a great performance, but we'll see what happens with Alexander and Katulnik. I think the better fights, the more money, the most popularity, and the better legend-building careers at 140 for Timothy Bradley. If he wants to avoid the legacy part and just go for the money right away, then he's going to start losing my respect all over again. So, this is NaptownBorn. And that's how I feel about the subject. I don't really have prediction videos coming out for the Marquez versus Diaz 2 at the end of the month. Like, you heard some of my views, man. I hope Casa wins. I think Marquez will win. And as far as everything else, I would say Danny Jacobs and then Linares. Those will be my picks just right off the bat with no explanation. I will get deeper into that as the next couple weeks come along. But as of right now, man, I'm just kind of chilling. I don't really have much else to talk about, so I kind of made a video on my phone. So, sorry the words don't match the lips. NaptownBorn. Deuces.